Greetings. I hope this finds you all well. My name is Emmanuel Obed. Today, I want to share with you a few principles that would help us keep in touch with our God. Those of us in business or in marketing do understand that for you to make a sale of any product or any service, you must first of all achieve some level of visibility in the marketplace. Yeah, visibility basically is meant to attract the attention of your potential clients to your business. In most cases, you already understand the kind of target market you want to reach out to, and you only need to figure out the kind of materials to use to get to them. So some of us use posters, some of us do advertisements on social media, on TV, or even word of mouth, and some of us even do displays at points of sale. There are other many ways to do this. I find this concept amazing, and I tend to think that probably the market has got this concept from the book of Exodus, chapter 3. This story is about the story of Moses when God appeared to Moses in form of a burning bush. It tells us that one day when Moses was busy taking care of his father-in-law's animals, he went deep into the wilderness near Sinai, which is known as the mountain of God. And while he was deep into the forest, the angel of God appeared to him there in form of a burning bush. But Moses was amazed and he was mesmerized when he noticed that there was fire in the bush, but the bush wasn't getting burnt out. The bush wasn't being consumed. So he said to himself that I have to go and see what is it that the bush is burning. The fire is burning the bush, but the bush is being consumed. So he turned fully to go and have a look. And when God realized that he had already taken the attention of Moses, he then called out to him and said, Moses, Moses, and told him, do not come close, and asked him to remove his sandals because the place in which he was standing was a holy ground. Of course, the story continues. Moses got scared and he hid himself because he was scared of seeing God's face. But I get this message in a different way, in an interesting way. And it tends to help me understand the things that we need to do to be able to hear the voice of God, to be able to allow God to speak to us. One of the things that I notice is that God does not force himself to us. Yeah. God allows us to see his presence in our environment. Yeah. Yeah. And that's why he creates the burning bush. I don't know what a burning bush is. It could be the accident you survived, it could be an illness you survived, it could be a marriage that God saved you from or God is working in. It could be so many things. The burning bush is always there for us to see. The problem is that most of us Christians see the burning bush but ignore it. But you don't realize that for us to be able to speak to God, for us to be able to hear the voice of God, we must pay attention to the burning bush. Because in most cases, God is in the burning bush. So realize that Moses he turned his attention from whatever he was doing and went trying to understand what was happening to the bush. Now realize that God only spoke to Moses once Moses gave his full attention to the burning bush. This tells us as Christians that uh, we need to be cautious enough to give our attention to the burning bush, to give our attention to the signs that God is bringing our way to show His presence. Yeah. Now moving forward, it tells us that when Moses moved to see the burning bush, that's when God spoke to him and God told him, Moses, do not come close. Why was God telling Moses not to come close? One of the things that we get here is that we see God telling Moses to remove his sandals because he's standing on a holy ground. Yeah. Now let's look at sandals. Sandals are known, for one, to protect us from actually having our feet getting hurt, let's say by thorns or by rocks on the ground. Two, sandals are also known for collecting dirt. When you're actually having sandals and walking on the road, especially when it's dusty, you are likely to have a lot of dirt on your feet when you get to destination, or even before. Now, my understanding of this is that God asks Moses to remove his sandals. God asks Moses to remove the to remove the things that makes him sin, to remove the thing that makes him a sinner. God understands that Moses is a sinner. He knows that Moses is a sinner. And then he asks Moses to confess of his sins, to ask for forgiveness. I do not know the kind of sandals you have as a Christian. Yeah. And the kind of dirt that you've collected along the way because of the sandals. It could be, I mean, there's a lot of things that we could be having. It could be bitterness, it could be unforgiveness, it could be pride, it could be a lot of things. It could be integrity, it could be so many things that we could have as that. But God asks us to remove our sandals. We need to remove our sandals. We need to be pure in our walking so that we do not collect dirt on our way. So then God asks Moses to remove sandals. But you realize that before God spoke to Moses and told him his intentions of saving the children of Israel from Egypt, he first of all asks Moses to remove his sandals. Yeah. So for God to speak to us as Christians, we must remove our sandals. We must ask God to forgive us, to cleanse us, to make us pure, so we can hear His voice clearly. Yeah. So I don't know about you, but what I've learned is that for us to be able to effectively keep in touch with God, one, we must be able to identify the burning bush in our lives. We must be able to actually identify those burning bushes in our lives. Two, we must give full attention to understanding what's happening in the burning bush. Give full attention towards understanding what's happening in the burning bush. And three, we must remove our sandals. We must remove our sandals. So if we do the three, then we are sure that now then God can speak to us. Thank you, and may God bless you.